Yay Networks.
All right, welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. I'm Kellie Raspberry. I am your host tonight. That's it, just me. And I'm going to be winging it, flying by the seat of my pants because I had to do a little bit of last minute bobbing and weaving because Alan was late on the golf course with Dylan, who is, again, obsessed with golf. He's got PGA dreams again, so we're supporting that dream, and hopefully he'll take us all the way because, you know, we want to live off of our 10 or 15%, whatever he's willing to give us for managing his career. And then I thought my backup plan would be having my daughter, Emma Kellie, come co-host with me because we have so much to talk about. She's got, this new job. She's kicking it there. She got accepted to SMU. We're really excited about that, talking about, she's going to pledge for sororities again. We got to get the ball rolling. She's also made some book recommendations for me. I thought we could talk about Love Island, which I have inappropriately watched with my daughter. But I come home. It's been a very, very long day. I'm not complaining. I'm so lucky and blessed that I'm busy because one day I'm going to be bored and wish I had something to do. But she is dead asleep. I mean, dead asleep. And I have a feeling she's got her alarm clock set for when Love Island comes on. She wants to watch it in real time. So I'm just going to fly by the seat of my pants, and y'all just going to have to listen to the sound of my voice. And I hope you like it enough to stick around because, well, I got a lot to talk about. Let's start with Dylan and Alan. They have literally, so we have the boys with the summer schedule, like for 2 weeks in June straight and then 2 weeks in July. And then, early August, we're back to school and we get back into the regular routine of the first, third, and fifth weekend and every Thursday. That's our visitation schedule, which is really great to have the boys for extensive period of times during the summer. But, Cole is 18 now, and he is super involved in baseball. And, we live in the neighboring city to where his mom's house is. And it's just easy. His friends are all over there. He's got his work over there, baseball, all that. So we haven't really seen as much of Cole as, we'd love to. He did come over for Father's Day, which was great. I'll get into that in a minute. But he's such a handsome kid and just such a pleasant kid to have around. He's got a beautiful smile and just a good energy. So we missed having that smile and energy around the house so much. But hey, he's 18. And 18-year-olds don't want to hang around with their parents or their step-parents. So here you go. But Dylan is all about golf. And fortunately for him, his dad, Alan, as you know, my podcast co-host who is not here tonight, loves it. I mean, absolutely loves it. He has never forced it on Dylan. He's always been the type of parent that's like, hey, if you want to do something, I support you. If you don't want to do it, that's cool too. But of course he loves that Dylan, is obsessed with golf because my whole family, my husband's family, they love golf. Every Father's Day, we watch the U.S. Open. Everybody gathers around the TV. It's a big deal. So it's a fun time. And today, I think for the first time, Alan took Dylan to the Cowboys Golf Club, golf course, which is out in Grapevine, Texas. And then I don't know what they're doing. I think tomorrow, maybe Thursday. You remember when we did the podcast from the PGA headquarters a couple weeks ago? Well, Dylan and Alan are going to go play that course. I think they're playing the East one. They're playing the one that's not the tournament one where you have to have a caddy. But they're going to do that. And guess what? So while the boys are playing golf, Emma Kellie and I have gotten day passes to go to the hotel there. And you can chill out. They have a pool there with, beverage and food service. You can hang out all day with these day passes. And then they also have this, and you can sauna and stuff like that. I think that part is included, but you can also get spa services. And I need a massage like nobody's business. So I'm going to look into see if I can get one. But I'm really excited to hang out with Emma Kellie, to do a little spa pool day with her. Because I know the opportunities for that are going to get fewer and farther between with her working so much and going to college. She'll be a sophomore and I don't know, just trying to savor all the time we can with them this summer. But, her job is going really well. She has gotten herself in a little bit of a pickle, though. She's a hostess at this nice restaurant in Dallas. Just for privacy's sake, I won't say where it is, but people are figuring out, are you Kellie Raspberry Larry's daughter. And that's fine. Everybody's so nice, but just to protect her privacy a little bit there. But, what they do is if they get a set schedule, and she has a set schedule 4 nights every week, right? 4 nights on, 3 nights off. Perfect. But, here we are in summer season, and she's got some plans. She's going to be going with her dad to New York to see Harry Styles later this, I think in September or something. Anyway, it's up to the hostesses and the one host. They have a male host. They have to work it out amongst themselves if they need to change schedules. And so Emma Kellie took, helping somebody else out with their schedule here and there, and somebody's, helping her out and taking her week so she can go to New York City with her dad. And she sat there last night and looked at her schedule and realized she has booked herself to work 14 days in a row. And I'm like, girl, welcome to the real world. This is life. But she really enjoys it. If it was a beating for her, it'd probably, be something she dreads. But she'll get through it, or she can get somebody to take another shift for her. But she'll be fine, and I'm very, very proud of her. Now, since we're talking about Emma Kellie, I did want to. Well, I was going to touch on Love Island, because a couple of seasons ago, season 6, I watched it with her. And I can't remember anybody's name except for Rob, Rob, who went on The Traitors and just killed it last year. And he's just killing it in life right now. But there was a Persian girl on there, and I cannot remember her name to save my life. But Emma Kellie really just identified with that. My daughter is half Persian, and loved it. Now and I thought it was fun too. Season 7, I didn't watch. But now I'm back with season 8. I didn't watch the first week of shows, but I came in kind of late. Y'all, all I told Emma Kellie was, I would be so embarrassed if you went on a show like this, because to see those young women, and they're beautiful girls, I know I'm an old fuddy-duddy and stuff, but to see them just straddle and swap spit and all this stuff with complete strangers, one after another, after another, after another. I know it's reality TV and it's part of it, but blah. But I've been watching it with her, and it's been kind of interesting to hear her thoughts. And I told her, there's some parts of, even when I used to watch The Bachelor before it got so lame, and The Bachelorette, and it's just they keep pushing the envelope and getting more and more vulgar and disgusting and blah. But there are lessons to be learned, about how attractive a confident woman is. Larry, stop it. And how unattractive an unconfident woman or man is. And just, I think that goes a long way. You can pick up on that. And that's little lessons they can learn if there is a bright side to any of that. But before I don't know how much I'm going to go into Love Island because it's just so gross. But Emma Kellie is addicted to reading. I'd rather her be addicted to that than, being on her phone and on apps and stuff. I mean, the most she ever does is repost TikTok videos that she likes, and they're mostly about books or Love Island or Harry Styles, things like that. But she has recommended 3 books to me. She's got a collection of a couple hundred, probably more. So much so they were just piled up on the floor, stacked under her bed, that we ordered a bookcase for her for Christmas. She picked it out and didn't realize that just wasn't going to cut it. So we loaded that up as much as we could. And then she got 2 of those big Billy bookcases from IKEA. And we did that. Had oh man, I will never assemble another IKEA product again, because when you go into IKEA, they have that sign there, we'll come assemble it. Larry, stop it. We'll assemble it for you with our, TaskRabbit staff. That guy showed up. It would have taken me and Alan 3 or 4 hours, if that, probably longer. Our marriage would have been hanging in the balance. And it wasn't that expensive. It was really not expensive at all. And he was in and out 30 minutes tops, maybe an hour, doing 2 complete bookshelves. He could have done them in his sleep, because that's probably all he does all day is just assemble IKEA bookshelves for people. So we love that, highly recommend. But anyway, You are going to love Legacy Box. You know, becoming a parent changes how you look at memories. While we're savoring and saving every moment with our kids, suddenly you start to realize a lot of important memories from our childhood. They're trapped on VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, photo albums, crammed into boxes labeled "Do Not Throw Away" and shoved into an attic. Those are at risk of being destroyed by heat, moisture, disaster, time. And once they're gone, they're gone. That's why you need Legacy Box now. They're the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. And the process is so simple. They send you a Legacy Box and you fill it up with old VHS tapes, pictures, film reels, slides, DVDs, whatever you've got. Their team in Tennessee carefully digitizes it all by hand. They send you back the originals plus digital files on the cloud or a thumb drive. Ordering a Legacy Box is one of the best things I've done for my family, because now instead of just telling my kids about that crazy vacation I took to the mountains when I was a kid, I get to show them and relive it with them. And right now, during Legacy Box's Father's Day sale, you can save big while preserving your family's history. Visit legacybox.com/sandwich to get started today. That's legacybox.com/sandwich. It's the little things that make a big difference in how I feel. Now, for me right now, it's about stretching. I didn't realize how stiff I was until I started doing it. I love when I can stretch a little further than before. It makes me feel refreshed when I'm done. And you know, a little makeup refresh can make all the difference too with Thrive Cosmetics, my go-to clean makeup routine year-round. Now, of course, their Brilliant Eye Brightener and Stella Champagne is always in my makeup bag. Actually, I need to reorder more. I'm almost out. But it comes in 32 shades, and the Shenna Mint Green Shimmer looks really fun for summer. Their Empower Matte Precision Lipstick Crayon, it's really amazing. It gives you a beautiful color that lasts without feeling dry. They have 18 buildable shades, and I love the Dusty Rose Kaiza color. I think that's how you pronounce it. But the best part, for every product you buy, Thrive donates products and funds to help communities thrive. So far, they've given over $150 million in products and cash to over 600 giving partners. This is beauty with purpose. Amplify your summer look with Thrive Cosmetics. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/sandwich for an exclusive 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/sandwich. I don't think I've ever talked about it on this podcast before, but one day I was walking past the windows going upstairs and I noticed this greasy cooking smell. You know what I mean? It turns out it was our blinds. Something about the sun was breaking them down over the years. And who knows how long they were there before we bought our house. We needed new blinds bad, and that's what led me to 3-Day Blinds. I absolutely loved how easy they made the whole process. They send a professionally trained design consultant to your home. It's a free, no obligation, same-day quote. And they've got thousands of options to fit any budget and style. It's not just blinds. They've got shades, shutters, drapery too. 3-Day Blinds even has those motorized smart blinds that work with Alexa. Those are so cool. They take all the measurements. They handle the installation too. And it's perfect because I'm not handy. And what a difference it's made. This is an upgrade that makes your whole house feel refreshed and polished without having to do a big renovation. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the 3dayblinds.com/sandwich. You can't scroll your phone for more than 30 seconds without seeing somebody talking about GLP-1s. Maybe you've been close to trying them, but you're not a needle person, or maybe you're looking for a natural alternative. Well, let me introduce you to our podcast sponsor, Veracity. Their Metabolism Ignite, it's a natural plant-based GLP-1 alternative that is doctor recommended and clinically proven to help reduce hunger. Just 2 capsules with breakfast every morning. It's all you need. And one of the first things I noticed was I wasn't thinking about food all day, that food noise you always are constantly battling. Metabolism Ignite has no allergens, no caffeine, no negative side effects, and we love that. It's shown to reduce hunger by 85% and clinically proven to help lose an average of 9 pounds in 90 days. We really love that. Look, this stuff is sold out 10 times for a reason. So before it sells out again, make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityhealth.co and use sandwich for up to 65% off your order. Once again, that's VERACITY health.co for up to 65% off. Make sure you use our promo code SANDWICH so they know we sent you. Emma Kelly's got all of her books up there and still has a couple spaces for a few more. But she did spare a couple of books for me because she really wants me to get as passionate about reading as she is. So she has the three and she laid them out in order. And if you're looking for summer reads, maybe you've already read these, but if you're looking for something, this is what Emma Kelly recommended for me, her old mom. We're starting off with The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Now, Frida McFadden's the one who wrote The Housemaid. Isn't that what it's called? With Sydney Sweeney and that girl that looks like Sydney Sweeney. I can't remember her name right now. Oh, what's her name? I don't remember. But yeah, so that movie. And then she's got the other one, the sequel to it that's coming out, The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret or something like that. Anyway, this is Frida McFadden. And that's not a real name. Apparently that's a pseudonym. But this year, apparently, she decided to come out and reveal herself. And I think she's a lawyer. And so a lot of her books are based on, legal situations. And Emma Kelly wanted me to read The Inmate. And I've had it sitting there. I've been so stinking busy. And last night she was really upset with me because I'd only made it through 3 chapters. So I promised her I'd read the 4th one. And I can tell it's going to be good. It starts off with this woman who is a nurse practitioner. And she's showing up to work at a high security and maximum security prison. And apparently a man is in there from her past. I mean, you learn this like in the first 2 pages of the book. I'm not really spoiling anything because this is literally all I know. I've only read like 3 or 4 chapters. That there's a man in those prison walls and he's serving like a life sentence. And the girl, the main character in the story, is responsible for putting him there. So that's what I've got so far. So Emma Kelly's really excited about this. She is very adamant that I give the book back to her in pristine condition because she loaned me a Colleen Hoover book a while back, and somehow it got moisture on it and the pages warped, and she was so mad at me. I had to promise her I'd buy her another one, but I think she got over it. So anyway, I'm trying to be really careful with The Inmate from the #1 best-selling author. It says right there on the cover, Frida McFadden. So that's what I'm reading first, all right? Second on the list, and this is a book that Anna Szabo from the Kid Craddock Morning Show, nationally syndicated, 13, a Taylor Swift podcast, and now Anna's group chat. She is obsessed with reading as well. And she was just talking about how she'd finished reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Right here on the cover, it says, a spellbinding novel about love, glamour, and the price of fame. That's from Emily Giffen, a New York Times bestselling author of First Comes Love. So she wrote that about Miss Taylor Jenkins Reid book. Anyway, this one is the second book recommended to me by my daughter, and Anna recommends it to everyone as well. But apparently, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is inspired by, who else do you know who had 7 husbands? Or did she have 8? I'm not really sure. Elizabeth Taylor. And no wonder Anna is crazy about this book, because who else is obsessed with Elizabeth Taylor? That would be Taylor Swift, who reportedly is having her wedding dress inspired by the dress that Elizabeth wore to her very first wedding to Nikki Hilton. Yes, of that Hilton family. But I don't even think they made it a year. I think they got divorced after like 7 months, or she left him after 7 months because he was abusive. It was a bad situation. But, that's rumors. We don't know until Taylor lets us have a glimpse of her wedding gown. I bet she will. I bet she'll just sneak out a picture because she knows how fans are passionate about it and she wants to share at least something with them, right? So that's number 2, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Number 3 on the list, and Emma Kelly admitted this one's a reach. And I think she told me about it. I'll have to read. Okay, I'll read the back cover to you because she told me about it and said it's kind of out there, but she loves it and she thinks I will too. It's by an author named V.E. Schwab. V as in Valentine, E as in Edgar. V.E. Schwab as in probably some investment company. Isn't Schwab an investment company? Anyway, it's called The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And on the back it says, France, 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman named Adeline meets a dangerous stranger and makes a terrible mistake. It will be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes again. So, sounds like a little, I don't know, mystical stuff. I mean, even on the covers, they have like stars and I don't know. It looks like astrology or something, or astronomy. I don't know. But I promised to Kellie those are going to be my 3 reads. And then I bought a couple of other books I wanted to read over the summer. One of them, golly, Colleen Hoover's Woman Down. That's the first one I bought because you remember when I finally got to meet Colleen Hoover, when Anna and I interviewed her for that movie she just had out, which, my goodness gracious, it's been a long day and I'm remembering him. Is that it? I'm just literally just coming up with remembering him, memories of him, reminders of him. Isn't that right? Anyway, we were interviewing her for that. Just giddy as all get out. And somebody had told me that there was a character in her book that like hosted a podcast and her name was Kellie. And she spelled it, I believe she said, like me. And so when I got the chance, I asked her, and Colleen was like, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a character. I'm like, it's a big deal to me. I would like, just the fact that I'm even mentioned, well, not, me personally, but my name, and it was inspired by me, even if it's for one sentence. I thought that was a big deal. So I bought the book, but I'm saving it to take on vacation. And then the other one I got is a book by, what's her name? Maureen Callahan? Let me see. I want to make sure I get this right because this is going to be a really good book. I'll tell you what, I used to listen to this woman's podcast. And, I'm negative. I am negative. And I'll admit it. It's Maureen Callahan. I am a celebrity apologist. I do have some celebrities that get on my nerve. I used to think, celebrities can do no wrong. They're just better people. They have the it factor, whatever. But Maureen Callahan, she hosts a podcast called The Nerve, and I actually enjoyed it for a while. But man, she hates celebrities. And a celebrity can't do anything right in her book. They can't do one kind gesture. And she's like, it's for publicity. It's fake. They're phony. Not every celebrity is fake and phony. Some of them are actually pretty nice. And so I just I had to, as shocking as it seems, and listen, some of you might think I'm negative. Don't stop listening to me because of that. But I did have to turn off The Nerve. I just did. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. But she's an excellent investigative reporter, right? And she wrote a book called Ask Not: The Kennedys and the Women They Destroyed. And it sounds amazing. I'm fascinated when that whole Carolyn Bessette love story, whatever, with John F. Kennedy came out. I didn't make it through the whole series. I only watched a few episodes, that Ryan Murphy series. But I'm fascinated by the women that this is going to be about. Marilyn Monroe, Jacqueline Kennedy, and Carolyn Bessette. It's going to be an amazing beach read. So Ask Not: The Kennedys and the Women They Destroyed by the bitter Maureen Callahan. I'm sure she's a lovely lady and great at parties. But y'all, maybe I'll give her podcast another try. But seriously, every celebrity, it didn't matter what they did. They were annoying and she hated them and she put them in the wood chipper and all this. I don't know. I didn't like it. But there is a podcast I will recommend that I've become pretty obsessed with. It's Daily Dose of Donna. I think I've talked about that before. She's very upbeat, but she doesn't love everything. She's got some, hot sports opinions about things, but she spells Donna, D-A-N-A. So you might think it's Daily Dose of Dana, but it's Daily Dose of Donna is how she pronounces it. And she used to be a casting director back in the day. She was responsible for casting actors for Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And so she has a lot of stories to tell about that. But she's just, she's a mom. She's got 2 sons. One of them's really into baseball, club level, it sounds like. The other one's not so much into sports as much, I don't think. But, her husband is a camera operator. And I think he has his own company. And works on Dancing with the Stars. So she always has stories about that. Anyway, Daily Dose of Donna is a great follow if you're looking for somebody to listen to when you're not listening to A Sandwich and Some Lovin' or Love Letters to Kellie, the podcast, or any of the other fine Yay Network family of podcasts. All right, so let's get into a little bit of Love Island. And I wish my daughter was here. I really wish she was to talk about it. But it's gross. It's disgusting. If you haven't been watching, I don't think you necessarily have to go back to the beginning. I haven't. I just kind of walked in about week 2 and just there I am, picked up where you kind of pick up pretty quick. But there was some stuff I missed about, pairings and couplings. Anyway, it's just like there's a villa and there's a bunch of hot girls and hot guys, and they have competitions where they make out with each other and suck toes and kiss parts that are very, very intimate. And I don't think my husband, in almost 9 years of marriage, there's some parts that have been kissed on Love Island that he's never kissed on me. Does that mean something's wrong with us? No. That means we have boundaries in our relationship, and that's okay. I'm certainly not going to do it covered in slime and glitter, pouring sweat in Fiji. Literally, they were like, it's so gross. It's so gross, y'all. It's gross. But the thing is, when they're doing these competitions, they can't get mad at each other because it's part of the game, right? It's part of the game. Like, even if you're coupled up, like Zach was coupled up with Kada, he even had Kada go kiss another man, and that's his girl. But they're supposed to be there to explore. If I hear the word explore one more time, I'm going to throw up. Explore. I need to explore. You need to explore. Well, I am exploring. We need to explore. That's the whole point of exploring. It's such an annoying term, but it is what it is. And they're trying to find connections, and they have to uncouple and date other people to see if there's a connection. Why can't they just have conversations? Why do they have to sleep in the same bed together and side by side with other couples? And they're doing like a lot of really nasty things that we get to see in night vision. So, I mean, like a lot. And hearing the noises of people kissing has always been a turnoff for me. Anyway, so the couples are really coupled up. They were pretty solid. My daughter is really anti-Kinsey, but I kind of feel for Kinsey. Okay, so Kinsey is this blonde girl. I think she's from, I want to say Georgia. She does the splits all the time. I mean, she like Kyle Richards on Beverly Hills. Kinsey takes that next level. Always splitting, raising her leg up over her head. I wish I was that flexible. I injured myself doing squats last night. That's how flexible I am. My knee is hurting today. That's how out of shape I am. But Kinsey's flexible. But after all, she's like, 22, 23? I don't think I was that flexible at that age. Anyway, so Kinsey hooked up. Well, she wanted Zach, apparently. I missed this part, but Zach didn't want her. She's not his type. She's blonde. He ended up with Kada, who's more exotic looking. I forget what ethnicity she said she was. She just said it the other night too. Like her mom's white, or vice versa, and the dad is, it's not Jamaican. Oh, Haitian and white. So she's very exotic looking. Like my daughter, she's Persian and white. She's exotic looking too. Anyway, so Zach got with Kada. And Kinsey got with Corbin, who is like a zombie. Everybody talks about how monotone he is. He even admitted he doesn't even dream. He has no dreams. He's like a robot. But she got recoupled. America put her with Caleb because she said, well, I want a cowboy. I want a cowboy. So they give her a cowboy from North Carolina, but he lives in Charleston, South Carolina now. So I'm rooting for a Carolina boy. Anyway, so Caleb comes in. He's a cowboy and everything she wants. And while she's being polite to him, she's kissing and exploring that connection. She's sneaking around behind the scenes, making out hardcore with Corbin. And that's what I told my daughter. I said, that's why you don't like her. It's one thing, you know what? America put us together. We need to explore this connection because they obviously see something that we don't. But she was just deceitful. So my daughter can't wait for the opportunity to vote Kinsey out. But I kind of feel for her because she is playing the game. If it wasn't for the fact that she was running around lying to sweet little Caleb, I wouldn't have a problem with her. There's other couples like Sincere. I think everybody's had that moment where they say, I should start my own business. Now, maybe you've got an amazing hot sauce recipe, or you've gotten really great at making candles or jewelry, and all your friends keep telling you, you should sell that stuff. Well, what's stopping you? If you've been sitting on a business idea, Shopify makes it easy to make it happen. Everything you need to start selling is included and ready from day one. When your first customer is ready to buy, Shopify checkout helps more people actually complete the purchase. And when they come back, their information's already saved. So checkout is quick and easy. One tap and they're done. Shopify handles all the technical stuff too, the setup and checkout, so you can spend your time growing your business and doing what you actually love. It's no wonder Shopify powers millions of businesses around the world, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to small businesses just getting started like yours. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business, so go make it one. Start your free trial at shopify.com/sandwich. That's shopify.com/sandwich. One more time, shopify.com/sandwich. Now that I've reached a certain age, I realize how much my sleep affects me and everybody around me. It affects my energy, my mood, my patience. And I've also learned that I don't need to waste a lot on fancy sleep gadgets, because one of the best things I've done is upgrade to Boll and Branch sheets. I noticed the difference from night one. They are incredibly soft, so breathable. It's because Boll and Branch's sheets are made with 100% organic cotton that's woven specifically for airflow. Now I don't wake up feeling hot with sheets sticking to my legs anymore. My sheets keep me cool and comfortable all night long. And they've actually gotten softer with every wash. They even did a survey of their customers. 94% of them said the same thing. I love my Boll and Branch sheets, and honestly, I can't imagine ever going back to any other bedding. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll and Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/sandwich with code SANDWICH. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/sandwich. Code SANDWICH to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/sandwich, code SANDWICH. Exclusions apply. I love a good go-to uniform, especially during summer. Pieces I wear on repeat because they're comfortable, they're versatile, and classic, which is why I love Quince, because they make elevated essentials that never go out of style using premium materials like 100% European linen, organic cotton, washable silk, lightweight, effortless, and with prices starting at just $32. Because they work directly with ethical factories and skip the middleman, everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. I've been wearing my lightweight cotton cashmere cardigan on repeat. Perfect for restaurants that blast the AC, or I just throw it over my shoulders when the sun goes down. But Quince isn't just clothes. They've also got elevated essentials for the home, beauty and wellness, travel, jewelry too. I've got my eye on a pair of 14-karat gold hoops right now. Make your summer wardrobe a whole lot easier. Go to quince.com/sandwich for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/sandwich for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sandwich. Okay, he's like track and field or something for Texas Tech, Reckham Tech. So I went into it, kind of a fan of Sincere, but I don't like some of the things he's done. Like, he's been with Melanie, but then he got repartnered. America repartnered him, recoupled him, whatever, with Soul, who was a bombshell that came in. And he just did Soul so dirty. He was talking out of both sides of his mouth to both women. And then she finally called him on it when he chose Melanie over her, and just called him on it for just like not being honest and upfront, saying, that you still have to be honest. You can explore. I hate that word. But just be honest. So anyway, she called him out for it. And so when it got time for America voted again, their least favorite couples, and Soul was on the bottom with two other women, one of them being Kinsey. My daughter was thrilled. She was hoping she'd get the boot. And Jen, the other blonde, in America say, America put the three in the bottom, and then the guys had to pick which girl to go home. Not only did he pick Soul to go home, because she wasn't coupled up with anybody. She wasn't given a chance. It wasn't fair. She was shut out from the beginning. She didn't have a fair shot, to be, honest. If she would have come in the next round of bombshells, she would have had a better shot. But to add insult to injury, pour salt in the wound, it was Sincere who got up and said, "We are sending Soul home." That was such a jerk move, and it really made me think a lot less of him. That was just awful. But then you had America put Gabe in the bottom with Caleb. Again, Caleb doesn't have anybody. He and Soul didn't have anybody. So people assumed that the girls would send Caleb home. But no, they sent Gabe home. Why? They said he was lustful. Why was he lustful? Because he was exploring what he was supposed to do and making out because, sticking his tongue down Jen's throat. And they decided that the minute Casa Amor came open, he was going to go start explore some more. And that wasn't right. And they wanted Caleb to have a shot at finding, a connection. So they sent Gabe home. The men were really upset about it, but they had to get over it and move on. So now we stand where they were supposed to do that heart rate challenge where I didn't see it last year, but the year before, from what I remember, because they didn't get around to doing it, they put heart monitors on the men and the girls have to, give them lap dances and suck on them and kiss on them and all this stuff to see if they can keep their heart rate down. It's some sort of competition like that. And I think they do it vice versa as well, where the men have to do it to the ladies. So it's a lot of spit swapping and, oh God. Anyway, the girls think they're getting ready for that and they're all excited. But because I think the producers say every little thing, y'all act like this is Christmas morning. They jump up and down. I got a text. Oh my God. Here comes Ariana Maddox. Oh yeah. Everything's so freaking exciting. I'm sure it's just, at the direction of producers. But again, they're 21 and 22. They get excited over everything. But they tell the guys, you're not going to go to this heart rate channel. You're going to go to Casa Amor. And they are so excited. They sneak out like giddy little schoolboys and they go over there and they're introduced to 6 new bombshells, one for each guy. And it's gross. Every girl comes out and goes down the line and makes out with each one of them. Except for one girl, I can't remember her name right now, but she's the one I heard has already been kicked off because of some racist posts she made. And then when she's coming down the line, she doesn't kiss the guys who were black or of color. The people of color, I should just say that. But she didn't kiss any of them. She was just like, no, you can't touch. No, that was just whatever, disrespectful. Like one guy hit her butt and she's like, no, I'm done. But okay, why you just kissed all the white guys, but why didn't you kiss the guys who, were of color? Well, now it's coming out that she made some old posts where she's singing lyrics and it had the N-word in it. And then she did a comment where she used the word as a slang term. Her dad's coming out saying, my daughter's not racist. She's a great girl. She's really smart and educated. She's the one studying film. She's in film school and came out in the Angel Wings. Anyway, I heard that she got the boot. As of this recording, I don't know that for sure. Maybe by the time you hear it, it will happen. So anyway, there was that. I'll just tell you, they had the girls back in the villa watching all this go down on a big screen TV. And it was devastating because the guys are being guys. They're talking smack and about, Melanie who and Anaya who and all this stuff. And the girls are gutted. They are hurt so bad. And then the cameras go dark and the girls are sulking and they're pouting and they go to bed. Well, the next day, Ariana comes over and says, you know what, girls, that was tough last night, wasn't it? Well, we're not just going to give you 6 new bombshells. We're going to give you 12. And so 12 guys come out. Some of them were better looking than others. My daughter wasn't really impressed, and her friend Emily was here. They weren't impressed by a lot of them. I said, but by the pictures, and said, once you start to see them talk and you see their personalities, it can make someone look more attractive or make them look way less attractive, right? So she did admit by the end of the episode that was right, that some of the guys she didn't initially think were attractive, suddenly when she saw their personality, she thought they were. Anyway, so the girls are all like, well, we're over it. Those guys, we're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to explore connections and all that crap. In the meantime, back over at Casa Amor, Bryce, who was with Trinity, that's apparently America's favorite couple, and my daughter too, is crying because he misses Trinity so bad. None of the guys know the girls saw what they did with these girls, smacking their booties and stuff. He's like, yeah, I had fun last night, but all I can think about is Trinity. I just want to be with Trinity. I was telling a joke to this girl and she didn't even laugh. She doesn't get it. He's like, I get it if my joke's not funny, but Trinity and I are on the same page. We laugh at the same things and I just miss her. And he's like crying. And in the meantime, the producers cut back to the villa where Trinity's kissing some new dude. But that doesn't mean it's all she wrote for the couple, because they'll recouple and maybe end up together, because those two really do seem right for each other. But the thing is, none of them have any idea what America's saying about them. They have no access to their phones, not until they get the boot off the island that they find out, what people are saying, whether they're cheering for them, hate them, whatever it is. But that girl that's getting the boot off Love Island for her racist stuff, she's going to have a hard time coming home to all that. But I'm sure we'll be getting an apology from her soon. Anyway, I know it's inappropriate to watch that stuff with my daughter. It's embarrassing. Emily said the other night when the girls were all going down the line and making out with each and every guy in Casa Amor, she made her mother get up and leave the room. She says, I can't watch that with my mom. I cannot watch that with my mother. And I'm sitting there. I did not watch it with my daughter. That's the episode I did not watch with her. And I'm kind of glad. I don't want to see that with Emma Kelly. Because I was the episode behind and caught up on my own. But when they had the guys with the girls, they didn't show as much. They didn't show as much of the, all the kissing and making out. They just kind of hit on it and moved on. So, and anyway, they ended up kicking out 6 guys. How embarrassing. Or 6 or 4, I don't remember how many they kicked out, but they just kicked them out. You're not cute enough and we're not vibing with you. You got to go. And it was so sad. I hate that. That's why I don't do those types of shows. I'm always afraid I'll be rejected. But it doesn't matter because I'm married and my husband is a hottie. He's so hot that internet scammers use him all the time to dupe women. What are you going to do? He is just that hot. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm hungry. I am trying to eat. My friend Kristen, who is a personal trainer, I've lost 30 pounds. I was really bad on Father's Day. Alan got up and smoked ribs. Delicious. There was so much meat on the bone. And I picked the ribs out. So I took a lot of pride in the fact that I picked out a couple of really good slabs. I made pasta salad and a coleslaw. And my mother-in-law brought over a huge tray of fried rice. She even said, this is the best batch I've ever made. And I was like, you are right. And then she brought over some lumpia, which is Filipino egg rolls, basically, and broccoli with cheese. And my sister-in-law brought over, and I made a homemade macaroni and cheese. Did I say that? And then, which, extra cheese and gooey. And then my sister-in-law brought over pie and cookies and ice cream. And let me just tell you, I enjoyed myself too much on Father's Day. So I've been making up for it ever since. But my friend Kristen, I had lost, 30 pounds. I only weigh once a week. I don't want to be a slave to the scale. But I know based on my history, I have dieted since I was in junior high, that 5 pounds can quickly become 10, can quickly become 20 and 30 and 50, if you're not careful. So I weigh once a week just to kind of say, okay, up a couple pounds, I'm going to be good this week. And, and if actually, one week I actually lost a little too much weight. I was like, oh, I need to have a few more calories this week. So it works both ways. Anyway, with Kristen, the thing is I talked about it, I believe. I can't remember where I say what, y'all. But I did tirzepatide, which I was told today is not a GLP-1. It's a GLP-2. Now, I did not look that up. I'm just telling you what somebody told me. Anyway, it's supposed to not have as many bad side effects, but I have had some, rumble tummies a couple times. But I did the tirzepatide. I lost about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds a week, but I did not do any weight training whatsoever while I was losing that weight. That was a huge mistake because now any muscle tone I had is gone and I'm really, really flabby. And I don't, I got to start lifting weights. It's just part of life, ladies. We got to start lifting weights. We got to have muscle tone for, to combat osteoporosis and all the boring stuff we don't want to talk about, but it's true. And, I still want to be able to, I don't need to rock a bikini. I didn't for many, many years until I lost, weight when I got married to Alan and, finally had the confidence to wear one. I don't need to rock a bikini as I head into my 60th year of life next year, but I still want to, I want to feel confident in a bathing suit. I want to not, I know there's going to be some jiggle, but I don't want that much jiggle, So I'm trying to work on that. And, but yesterday, Kristen had me doing some squats and Alan was sitting there and my knee was like snap, crackle. I mean, it was like crunchy. It was like, do you ever hear like golfers when they wear those cleats and they walk on gravel? That's how my knee sounded, my left knee. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do my 3 sets of 15 and stretch. And I'm sure it's going to be fine. And then I did the split squat she wanted me to do, and that's when it started hurting. But I was trying to tough it out, and then I did, I did the whole routine. And y'all, I think I messed up my knee. I was icing it last night. I've got to call her about that. We might have to make some adjustments. But, don't try to be a hero if you're starting a new workout routine. If you hurt something, take it easy. That's the advice I'm going to give you. And I'm sure Kristen's going to make some suggestions for me to work around my knee problem now. But she has me eating 130 grams of protein a day. That's what she's trying to have me hit, as well as 10,000 steps a day. Now, I was trying to use my cell phone to track my steps, but I don't always have my cell phone on me. So Alan, Alan gave me a really, really beautiful watch that I want to wear. It's an expensive watch and I want to wear it. I love it. And, and I don't want to wear an Apple Watch. My Apple Watch stopped holding a charge. So he said, I've got a Timex. I never used my Apple Watch to check emails or take phone calls or anything. I literally used it. Oh, I was wearing it that day that I had my heart palpitations on the radio so I could see how high my heart rate was. That was very helpful. But the only other reason I used it was for tracking my steps. So Alan has this pedometer on a Timex, and I just wear that. And, just walking around. Kristen said the thing I messed up on last week when I about passed out, it was so hot, was trying to do all 10,000 steps at once. She said that something about raising cortisol levels, which, if your cortisol levels are raised, your body retains weight and water. Don't want that. I'm not trying to lose weight, but I'm trying to, not put on any either. I'm just trying to gain muscle, and that's going to add a couple pounds. I'll deal with it. So anyway, 10,000 steps a day. So she said, just wear it, all day. And then at the end of the day, where you're short on steps, then finish it up as long as you hit 10,000. So as of right now, I'm at 52.25. And that's just from regular walking around today, running some errands. I had to go to Walmart, Michael's, and stop by Home Goods. So that's just from regular walking around. So now I'm going to turn on Love Island and I'm going to march in place, and I'm going to get in my 10,000 steps as best as I can, as long as my knee holds up. If my knee hurts, I'm going to have to tell Kristen, couldn't get it done today, but I tried. Anyway, you try to do something good for yourself, whether it's eating a little bit more fruit, drinking a little bit more water. By the way, she wants me to drink a gallon of water a day. I'm trying. I fill up my 40-ounce tumbler 3 or 4 times a day and try to get that down. And I find the more I drink water, the more I crave it. So that's actually been a good thing. But anyway, we've been a little bit all over the place with this podcast. Alan will be back, I promise, next week. And if he's not here, I'm going to make him and Kellie do this with me, because I know y'all don't want to hear me drone on again by myself. But hopefully you enjoyed it and got something out of it. Oh, before I go, I have to say this. Oh my gosh, I sound like I'm signing off and I keep forgetting things. I have to say, my best friend since I moved to Texas 32 years ago, Amy. Y'all have heard me talk about my best friend since 5th grade, Tommy Jean. Well, this is my best friend since Texas, Amy. She is moving on Friday to North Carolina. She has health reasons for it, and we've always known it was coming. We just never really talked about it. It was always something kind of off in the distance. But we knew that once her youngest daughter graduated high school, and she just did this past May, that she was going to move to the East Coast for health reasons. Now, originally she was going to move up to like the Hamptons area and stuff, but people actually from the Hamptons are moving more and more towards the Carolinas. And she found a really great place in North Carolina. And she's moving on Friday, y'all. We gave her a going away dinner, just a kind of a small little, she has a group of golf friends that she hangs out with, and I've met some of them. They're very lovely. And then the core 4, me, Amy, shopping with Shanda, if you remember her back in the day. She was there day 1 when I joined the Kid Craddock Morning Show on May 31st, 1994. And Tara, who came in about a year or 2 after that, but was our phone screener. And then now co-host, or really is the main host of her own show on The Wolf in Dallas. She's doing great. So the core 4 and Amy's golf buddies, we gave her a going away dinner at our favorite restaurant in Dallas, Albernay's Oak Lawn. And Brad helped us surprise her, so that was really great. Going to lunch with her tomorrow, and we're going to go, and I don't know, it's hard, it's weird, I know I'm going to see her again, but it's just weird. And we're going to go to lunch tomorrow with our friend Carolyn, who's visiting from out of town, And then she's got her golfing buddy friends again. They're doing like a wine drop-in at this lovely little place they like. And it's just a drop-in tomorrow night. So I'm going to go do that. Just drop in and drop out. And then Thursday, I'm going to, be doing the spa day with my daughter all day. I don't know what time Amy's leaving Friday. I'm going to have to grab her. And let me just tell you this, y'all. Amy hates to be hugged. I know this about her and other people don't. So other people other people hug her, but I really don't ever do it because I know she doesn't like it. But I'm like, I'm giving that girl a hug before she moves to North Carolina. And so it's going to be really hard. But I've got a nice break over Labor Day, so I'm hoping I get to go and visit her in North Carolina. But it's just really hard. Life's going to be really, really different. Amy has, she's like, honestly, like I always say, Tommy Jean is my number one fan. Amy is my number one fan too. I got two number one fans. They are always, pushing for me and rooting for me, and there's no jealousy there, and just always so supportive. And it's just going to be really, really hard to say goodbye. But, it's just, this is life, right? And it's going to be sad. But anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge that Amy is going to be leaving me on Friday, but I'll see her hopefully very, very soon. And on a bright note, Amy's moving away on Friday, and on Sunday, I'm throwing a baby shower for shopping with Shanda's daughter, Riley, who's expecting a little girl. So a real range of emotions this weekend. So y'all think about me as I'm going to be mourning the loss of my friend. You know what I mean? And also celebrating the coming arrival of a new life, a new little baby to love, and all the last minute things I have to do to get prepared for that baby shower. It's a lot, but one foot in front of the other, as they say. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank you for hanging out and putting up with me in this haphazard, last minute put together podcast. Thank you to Larry and Zoe for being so good. I had to stop Larry from licking his paws a couple times. Zoe's being such a good girl, and I appreciate them hanging out and keeping me company as I record this podcast. Alan and I will talk to you next week. Please send any comments, questions, anything you want to ask us to podcast at kellyandallen.com. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.